Welcome to the Shofar Mountain Waterfall, one of several. Here's number 2. Here's part of the canal system of Venice in the Ozarks. Helps with water runoff, although the canal is not keeping up with the volume today. As you see, the road is flooding as well. Here's number 3, heading off into the woods. And I'll show you number 4 in a second. There's number 4, and there's many others. But right now I'm heading down to the duck area. Number 5, pretty impromptu. It normally doesn't flow this way here. And again, the road is completely overwhelmed. We've got a collapsed drainage ditch that'll need fixing later. Normally it can keep up with the volume. I am here inside the duck house, which has plastic vinyl sheeting over it, so it's fairly water resistant, but I wanted to show you how wet it is at the orchard and to talk to you about water. And it occurred to me while I was walking down here today that Pastor and I, at least I do, make these videos every springtime. Because every springtime, like monsoon, this area gets a lot of water. And I've got videos up of our creeks. I did an intro to this video of runoff, of waterfalls that appear suddenly. I came down to check out the duck area, and I wanted to show you also, like, my collection containers are getting full. Water is a concern. In our modern day world, we have culverts, we have runoff, but we also have examples of parking lots and streets where the water drainage wasn't thought of, and you get pools of water and floods of water, and how dangerous water is when it's moving. If it's 6 inches or deeper and it's moving at any rate at all, it'll carry a car. It's a force you can't really, I won't say it cannot be stopped, but in order for it to be stopped, sometimes huge construction has to happen, like dams and causeways, and you know what I'm talking about, like the Grand Coulee Dam and so on, are huge concrete structures to try to hold the strength of water coming down, but to also contain it because it's a valuable resource. And it's no different here on the mountain. Our series of canals is to help contain and control the water runoff so that it doesn't just carry away the whole hillside. We kind of look at the water runoff and terracing and how they do it in Asia, where you have, pool after pool after pool, so that the water slows down on its descent and you can trap the soil that it brings with it and make yourself richer areas of ground on your mountainside. And we try that also. I catch it for my ducks, not for now, but in the heat of the summer when there's not as much rainfall and things are dry and it's evaporating. I trap rain so that I can have water to water them with at those times. And when I look back, Pastor and I have lived in the Pacific Northwest, which is super wet. I've been in Asia where I've gone through typhoons. I've gone through typhoons where the main roads of the capital city were under 6 inches of water. And if you look at examples like in Bangladesh, every year there's this huge flood that comes down. And it's a whole political thing between India and Pakistan and Bangladesh on allowing that water to flood Bangladesh every year, or helping your neighbor out and building a dam somewhere so the flow doesn't overwhelm them. It's all relevant. and also just water supply, who controls it, you know, how clean the water is, what pollutants are allowed to be in it, and so on. It's a huge deal. So this rain is inconvenient, but every year when they come, I'm not mad. I just want to make sure we take good, smart steps to utilize it, not so much control it, but just make sure that the damage isn't bad, because it does things like feed the garden and the orchard. If you get a lot of rain, your fruit's going to be bigger than if it's a year with very little rain. So I like it. I like to get out in it. I like to study what it's doing and make sure that we can deal with the effects of it being here. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to get out in this. Shalom.